Hello, everyone. Welcome to the evening edition or the morning edition of One Global Movement, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's always an exciting moment when I open this laptop and I get to meet people from the other sides of the globe. Isn't that exciting? This is how we have been blessed and highly favored because it's just always a joyful thing to know that we are doing something powerful. We are doing one of the greatest things in the world. One of the noblest of jobs is to uplift humanity with a focus on children. So it is just a wonderful thing. I'm looking at my lamp here. It looks like it's making some noise. Sorry. Now, I found this, our unpassive music sang, our national anthem sang in a different version by Skipper. It's sang in both French and English. So I'm going to play it maybe for 2, 3 minutes because it's always a good thing to take our desserts, right? After you eat, you take your dessert, but before you even eat, you've got to take your appetizer. So music to me is an appetizer. It's good. Our children are so gifted in music, especially I watch a lot of America's Got Talent, and I also watch a lot of Youth Got Talent. You should see how these children are so creative in a lot of ways. And we want to be able to promote that creativity in children. I just thank you guys so much. I see a lot of the things that you guys are doing, and it's wonderful because when you see people coming together to do things that matter, it is just such a happy moment to know that you know what, we have all it takes to help ourselves and to help the future, because in that future it embodies everyone, not just some people and not the other. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to play this music by uh say We Are in It to Win It by Skipper, a different version from the one Loretta Shadere. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. So let me play this version. Skipper. Ever since I found you, my life has changed for good. I just want to thank you for passing. When I thought I was gonna drop, you made me see life from the top. Now my ears will pop on passing. Do it or die. If you wanna reach the sky, no one left behind on passing. Built with love and compassion, it's a digital solution. Hope for humanity. I see you need to eat it. I see you need to eat it. I see be a winner, 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 be a winner. Depuis que je t'ai trouvé, ma vie a changé. Je voulais te remercier en passant. Je croyais être tombé, mais tu m'as relevé. À présent, je peux m'envoler en passant. Rejoins-nous aujourd'hui, si tu veux toucher le ciel, tu seras parmi les étoiles. Bâti avec amour, compassion pour vos besoins digitaux, l'espoir pour l'humanité. Merci, le need to win it. Merci, nous sommes là pour le gagner. Merci, le need to win it. We are the unicorn. We are the stars. We are standing tall. No one left behind for no reason. Notre chapitre va être incroyable. Parce qu'en passive est créé pour que tout le monde puisse gagner. This is it. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. On passive, we are in it to win it. Nobody is left behind. And we are going to be shining like the stars. And we're going to go to the moon. Because when you get to the moon is the highest. If you don't get to the moon, the tendency is that you're going to fall back. And when you fall back, you're going to fall on the stars. And you're still going to be great, even though you didn't get to the moon. So unpassive, when unpassive came, unpassive has changed all of our lives, and we are in it to win it together, not one person and not the other. So that's why we are here building communities, building things that will propel us to help our children to move ahead, and so that their lives can be happy and they can live better lives. So this is by Skipper, and he really sings in French and English, which is very good. So I try to be careful what music I pick. Like Mr. John Barilla was saying, I'm surprised that Yvonne has not gotten in trouble with playing this music. I am already getting in trouble, John, just so you know, because they're going to be accusing me of copyright. They started already. And so we have to be very careful what music we play here, so that, unpassive is good. So, but if anybody knows any other music that is out of the copyright thing, then we can play it here so that we don't get in trouble, right? So, a little exhausted, but I am not giving up. Giving up is not an option for me. Giving up should be the very last thing for me. So we will move ahead, because when we move ahead, God sees everything. God will provide you with ways that you can continue to move ahead in order to help humanity, particularly children. And this is the International Women History Month is this month. A lot of great things are happening. And on Friday will be the International Day of the Woman. Here we are focusing on young girls. We know how young girls have been on the disadvantage all over the world, even including in the United States of America. I have some short videos. If I will know, I think Mr. John Barilla will help me to upload it to All Connect so we can watch it. Even though we have come a long way, we still have a long way to go when it concerns the woman in leadership positions, in certain jobs, and a lot of other things, especially in some countries. It is still more prominent there than in others. So this means we have to keep moving ahead, because when we expose the male child as well as the female child, when we include them in everything, they will grow up to contribute positively to their life, the lives of their families, their villages, their communities, and the global economy. And because we have the means now through Mr. Ash Mufare, AI and high technology is the order of the day. We want to be able to make sure that we are helping these young people to get the education that they need. We can feed them, but if you feed a child, you do not teach them how to get the food, then you have not helped that child at all. So we are here, we mean business. We want to be sure that we help our children, but we cannot help children without helping ourselves first. So it's so important. Whatever we are doing, we are just being role models to these children, because children learn, they are impressionable, they learn by copying from us, the adults and the parents and the caregivers around them. So this is very important. So join us on Friday in celebration of the International Day of the Woman. Okay, we have prominent women around the world who are fighting to be sure that the female child as well as the male child, they are given equal opportunity to thrive. Because remember, the woman is the multiplier of every corner of the world. When you give a woman something, just one, that woman will multiply it and give it to you in numbers. And they do it silently. And we do not have to ignore that. We want to encourage that in every woman. And that's why we want to be able to focus on our daughters, because if I was not focused on, if attention was not paid to me, I would not have been here. I would have been dead, long gone. And so for that reason, I have devoted my entire life to serving young people with a focus on the young woman, children, children, and children. And children 26 years old, they're still children. So we have to focus on these children. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I can't believe we are already in the Mindset series number 17. So I just welcome all of you here and thank you so much for really coming here to encourage me and the other panelists so that we can continue to serve young people and children worldwide. So Saturday, not Saturday. Why do I have to keep saying Saturdays? Friday. Friday is International Women's Day. So we're in the Mindset series number 17. And it says, envy and jealousy kills dreams. Envy and jealousy kills dreams. Is it true for you? So let us begin to put our contributions in the chat. But first of all, I want us to know that envy and jealousy is a natural part of our own existence. But when it begins to get to a certain level, we have to check it. We want to make sure that we check it so that it doesn't destroy, it doesn't kill our dreams. And if it's above us, we want to be able to consult a professional who can look into that. You know, envy and jealousy really kills dreams if left unchecked. And I'm going to repeat the important announcement that I made this morning, this afternoon, so that I don't forget. For those of you, or if you have your children who are vying to go into the medical school, it doesn't matter what kind of profession in the medical school, we have good news. We have good news from the Albert Einstein School of Medicine. There is a donation of $1 billion, not millions, $1 billion from one of their professors, a 93-year-old Madame Ruth Godman. She donated $1 billion. So if your child wants to go to medical school, this is a time to take advantage. And it's going to start in August of this year. These are the kind of resources that we want to keep bringing to our children so they take advantage of and then do something. You know, student loans are very, very stressful. I have a lot of student loan right here and I have to pay. Even though I got the knowledge, I still have to pay. But we don't want our children to keep getting into those kind of things because times are changing. And so if we have an opportunity like this, we should help every child. We should help spread the word in your community, in your family, among friends, so that they can take advantage of it and begin to apply. Don't just sit. When you go on Google, you will see, you Google Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and you will see all the information. Begin to write to them. You and your children who want to pursue a career in the medical field should begin to write to them. When you write once, don't wait for them to reply to you, because there are millions that are rushing to go and do that. When you write, after 1 week, call them, write again, call them, write again. That's how they will know that you mean business, that you're serious about this. So spread it out, spread it out. I am going to be posting it on the general One Global Movement group. so that we can share it. Please do not keep this information to yourself. We know how expensive it is to even get into the medical school. And if you are in a different country out of the United States, still do it. I don't know about that, but don't just keep quiet. It's good to inquire the information. Let them know that you are in a different country. What are the requirements of somebody who is not an American or who is not a national of the United States of America? So you may want to do that. Do not keep this thing. This is going to relieve a lot of us parents, and so let's spread the word out, okay? So we're going to just dive into our topic after saying that. So envy and jealousy kills dreams. Is it true? Let us begin to put it in the chat there. Is it true for you? And at what level do you think that can happen? So I always like to begin with a quote. Envy blinds men and makes it impossible for them to think clearly. That is true. Envy blinds men and makes it impossible for them to even think clearly because they are so blindfolded. With envy, you're envying somebody instead of focusing on yourself. Because all of us are born with gifts, big dreams. But a lot of times, some people think that they see how somebody has struggled to get to a certain point, and they don't even know how long, what amount of time, resources, and energy they've gotten to the point where they are, and we begin to envy them without knowing what it took them to get to that point. Instead of us focusing on our own, starting from scratch, starting to nurture our own goals and our own dreams, we focus on others. We want to teach our children not to do that. That's why we need to watch our children closely, especially from the cradle. The first 5 years of life are very important to build that solid foundation for every child. We watch our children. What are they gravitating towards? What do they like to always touch? Because that is going to tell you a lot of the kind of gift that God has gifted them with, and so that you can begin to nurture them very well. So, envy blinds men and makes it impossible for them to think clearly. That is said by Malcolm X. And the other one is the few who are the envy of many who watch. The few who do are the envy of the many who just watch. That's why you see when they say there's 2% very rich people in the world. The people took that time to really build their wealth. It took them years. It took them a lot of things to do that, to become who they are today. And so the few that are rich are being envied by the many who just sit there without nurturing their own dreams. They just watch, and then they become so jealous. Some people can even kill. So that is what it means. And that is said by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of my mentors, even though he's no more, but he is one of my top mentors in the world. So envy and jealousy can certainly be dream killers for sure, if left unchecked. If we are so envious and so jealous, and sometimes we just do it without even knowing, because we have done it so much and for a long time that we don't even know that it's hurting us. And so it can certainly be dream killers. That's why it is always a good thing to tell our children, know who you are telling your dream to. Because some people, the words of their mouth can just kill your dreams just right there. We need to teach our children, they don't have to explain themselves to people that they don't know, they don't trust, except the parents. But hopefully the parents too are good enough to be able to really see their children's dream and to help them to realize those dreams. So when you are consumed by envy and jealousy, your focus shifts from your own goals and dreams and aspirations to comparing yourself with others. That is what envy does. You start shifting your focus from what will make you to grow. You start pushing it and getting towards other people, watching and looking at what they're doing, wasting your own time instead of focusing on you. We want to be able to do that for ourselves first so that our children can see. Because When you focus on yourself, you focus on your children, you building that high self-esteem in them. You are really exonerating them and really giving them that mandate that, you know what, I am your parents, I am your caregiver, so I know what you have. I know that you were created for greatness. You can focus on yourself instead of looking outwards on what other people are doing. And we see that a lot too here in Unpassive. People are so focused on other people instead of doing their own things. They want to know who is doing what, or in order to attract self-sympathy, like people are doing them wrong. No. Even when somebody is doing you wrong, you don't need to focus on that. Just focus on what you're doing. And then you will not even see that as anything because they are wasting their own time doing you wrong. You shouldn't waste your time to be focused on those negative things that they are doing to you because it's not going to help you. So this is very, very important for us to be role models for our children so that they can see and do it. A lot of children, they have this low self-esteem because we have not properly taught them how to focus on themselves, because we, the parents, don't even focus on ourselves. We want to focus out there, when in actual effect, in reality, it is within us that we need to focus. When we complain about people are doing me wrong, they're doing me wrong, we're complaining about ourselves. People are doing you wrong. What are you doing about that? What are you doing about that? Are you going to focus on them? Oh, just sitting there and be, oh, they're doing me wrong. Oh, what did I do wrong? No, don't. You can't change them. You only can change yourself, change the way you focus on them and focus on yourself. These are so important for our children because if we really teach these children with this by modeling it, these children will not be facing difficulties in school, especially when they are being bullied or they are being discriminated upon or they are being excluded from a group. They will not face these challenges. They are facing it because we show them, we model it to them, we behave that way because, oh, my friend is not talking to me anymore. Well, if your friend is not talking to you, you don't know what is going on within that friend. You can just ask. And if you ask, you realize that they're still doing the same thing. You don't have to waste your time trying to make sure that that friend loves you or be your friend. Because guess what? According to me, my parents are the best friend. After Almighty God, my parents are the best friend. My children are the best friends to me. That's how we should live life. Looking within ourselves, within our own family, within our own vicinity, within our home, instead of looking outside. And these are the things that we fail to model. And these children go out there, they are faced with a lot of challenges. They don't know how to get out of them. They become depressed, they become worried, and this is going to affect them in their education, in their health, and in a lot of ways. So we don't want our children to be that way. So this can lead to feelings of inadequacy when we are focusing on others, what other people are doing, and we are being jealous. We can be inadequate in the things that we ourselves are doing. If we just learn to focus on ourselves and run our own race without competing and comparing with others, I bet you will be happy. You will have this peace of mind, calmness. You will have this pride and dignity that comes from within you, knowing that you're focusing on yourself and what matters to you and your family. This is very, very important. Instead of being proactive and taking steps towards your own success, you may find yourself dwelling on what others have achieved. Let's not do that. We realize that in the United States here, I see it all the time. I watch it over the news, and we see it happening. You see the Hollywood people, some the good ones. It took them time to be where they are today. It also took us time to be where we are today in Unpassive, right? So it took them time. But some of the bad ones, they influence young people, especially young girls, in negative ways. They want them to be thin, have these very thin bodies. Then the bones will be sticking out of their necks because they want to just look like them. Now they have health challenges such as anorexia, and then they begin to binge on food, eat, and then they go and purge it and vomit everything out so that they can look thin, and it's not helping them. Pretty soon they have psychological problem. So We don't want to envy people. It's not a good thing. Envy is up to a certain level. There is what is called positive envy that is so tiny. You look at somebody's thing in a very good way, with a good heart. You love it, you like it. You may want to inquire, how did you do this thing? Can you please teach me how to do this thing? That is how we need to model this for our children. Instead of envying somebody up to the extent, some people, it can even poison people. We don't want that for our children, because when you poison somebody, you've killed your own self. You're not just killing that person, you're killing yourself, because that is going to haunt you for the rest of your life, because you are forgetting to know that you were created with gifts. You were created with greatness, but you have not yet taken the time to start exploring what God gave you, because you are focusing your mind on others. So we want to help our children not to do that. Furthermore, envy and jealousy can poison relationship. I just said that, and create toxic environment, negativity. You see, people are carrying these baggages of hatred, baggages of jealousy, baggages of revenge, baggages of blaming, baggages of, they are weighing us down every day. We are wobbling, they are weighing us. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want it for ourselves, and therefore we don't want it for our children. You see, I come from a background that I could have been so embittered and seek revenge, but I decided not to, because that wasn't going to help me, because my grandmother taught me otherwise. She took the time to teach me otherwise. And that is what has brought me to where I am today, traveling the world to speak in different countries, to speak in different schools for children and get paid. That is a wonderful thing to do. And today, I want to be a servant to children for the rest of my life. That is a wonderful thing. We all can do this. If we just take the time to focus, there is something with focusing on you, focusing on your family. When you focus on your family, you start thinking, and thinking out of your comfort zone. You start thinking out of the box, and then before you know, your thoughts will open up a gate for you that will bring you resources that will help you to grow and also grow your children. So let us not be jealous or envious of people. We don't know how they even got those things. You might even want to be jealous, and you want to go and get some of that, and then you hurt yourself, because you don't even know how those people got those things. Do you even need to know? You can know only when you want to learn, not because you want to be jealous of the person, right? We always seek to learn and to do our own thing. So, however, it is so important to recognize that envy and jealousy are natural human instincts and emotions that everyone experiences to some degree, to some degree. But it shouldn't be the kind of poisonous one that it's going to be a deterrent. It's going to be a disturbance for us to focus on ourselves and our children, you know? So the key is to acknowledge these feelings. You must acknowledge that we are envious, because we all are. There's nobody. Even siblings are envious of one another. But we want to make sure that they don't do so in a negative way or in a harmful way, because these things come to us gradually. And when it gets to a certain point, we must make sure that we check it so that it doesn't hurt us, because when it hurts us, it's going to hurt our family and the people that surround us. This is very, very important. If you know how many times that I've been thrown bad things, I laugh, because the scripture says that when you are doing something great, you will know. How do you know? Because people will start throwing garbage at you, whether it is by word of mouth. They start saying negative things to you, or they start wanting to attack you or something. That means my grandmother taught me you're doing something great, and make sure you continue to do it. But if you're doing something, nobody's even being envious, nobody's throwing garbage at you, guess what? You need to reconsider, because what you're doing, there is nothing to be gotten out of that, or what you're doing might be too small when you can do it big. Dream big and do it big. We need to know that, and it is true. When we look throughout history, you see the people that are doing something great. Garbage is always thrown at them. Look at Nelson Mandela. Look at what he did. Suffered garbage, the worst garbage on earth was thrown at him. Look at Martin Luther King Jr. trying to fight for the rights of people. Discrimination. Look at what happened to him. He was shot and killed, right? Look at Mahatma Gandhi. A lot of garbage was thrown at him. You look at some of the best presidents of this country. That's what happens. And so that means that we're doing something good. But we need to be very careful so that we don't fall prey to all those things. So, how then can we help our children overcome envy and jealousy? How do you think you can help yourself? Ask this question to yourself, not just your children, because children take from us. Whether we like it or not, they take from us because there is that natural bond between us and the child to take from us, whether we like it or not. Whether you adopt a child or you're just doing it because you're doing this to your child, know that it's affecting other children. What affects one child in the United States of America is going to affect children all over the world. If we really, really grasp these concepts, we will be apt to do good to every child in the world, regardless of how we've been taught, regardless of how we've been brought up to discriminate or to think that we are an upper class and the others are lower class. We will do good, and eventually you will see children around the world will begin to smile, and they will do it to others regardless of the differences in their culture or tradition. They will begin to do it. This is the fact of life. We just see that here in Unpassive with Mr. Ash Mufara helping 1.4 million founders from different backgrounds and orientation. And some of them, the way they behave, they don't even know because they didn't even know any better, right? So we do not fall prey trying to sabotage them or trying to judge them, because sometimes they don't even know what they are doing depending on their background and orientation. And the same thing we do to our children. We cannot sabotage the child. We have to look for ways to help them. What they're struggling with, if they're envious, I heard this story. It was Beyonce's mother that was was explaining this story to, I think it was during Oprah Winfrey's show, and said, Beyonce, they were practicing and singing and dancing, and one of the ladies was doing so well more than her, and she was the initiator of this group, and she thought she had to perform more than anybody else. But you cannot perform more than others when you have not trained yourself, when you are not really doing the training, doing what it takes for you to be better. And so she was mad and she became so envious. The mother said no. The mother was so straight head on with her. No, you need to practice. She's older than you. She's gained experience, and she deserves to do better because she's always practicing. Just think over the years. That's how come she can do better than you. You're still young. Continue to do your own practice. You will be better like her or even better. Instead of just saying, oh, I'm sorry that she's envious of you, she's a bad person, she did. No, the mother was really head on with her. You need to practice. You need to focus on yourself and do what is right instead of jealousing other people, right? So helping our children and young people overcome envy and jealousy involves a lot of factors, which means we have to foster empathy in our children. We have to foster the spirit of gratitude. We have to foster the spirit of self-confidence, a sense of healthy image of ourselves, seeing ourselves as healthy human beings, that we can do something. And we have to have this self-worth so much instilled in our children, but we cannot do it if we are not doing it for ourselves. So we have to promote empathy. Empathy will help children not to be envious and be so jealous of others. Empathy means we help our children to try to, before they look at somebody and go beyond the limit of where they can ask, inquire to learn, and become so jealous and bitter about their progress, we need to ask them to put themselves in the shoe of that person. How did they get there? What potholes and challenges did they face before they got there? Did they just get there just like that? It does not happen in life. You have to work for something before you get there. You cannot just see somebody and be jealous when that person has taken time and probably years and losing some sleep and resources to get there, and you cannot be jealous of that person. You need to put yourself in the shoes of that person and begin to find out, how did this person get there? How can I learn to get there? If that is really what you want, if that is really your goals and your desires, you don't want to do something that is not something that you really love, because what you love most of the time is what God has put in you, right? So we need to be doing that. We do not need to be envious. Let us build a sense of empathy in our children, putting themselves in the shoe of other people to feel what that person is feeling, or to do what that person is doing, losing sleep and studying well and focusing on themselves before they got to where they want to be. Look at us here. I know a lot of us, like Mr. John Barilla, has been on Passy for 5 years, right? And a lot of other people, those of us who have been there for almost or 3 years now, are we going to be envious of him knowing a lot of the things that he knows? No, definitely not. Otherwise, we will be disturbing our own self. This is so simple, guys. This is very simple. You know, you will have a peaceful mind and focus and clarity of thought and a good heart towards yourself, your children, and everyone, if we just stop for a second, just for a second, to see if what we are truly envious of is even worth it. Do we know what it takes to get to a certain point? We can learn from Sir John Barilla. How did he just manage to be here for a long time and knowing all what he has known about on passive? We can learn from people like them, you know? And so our children can do the same, right? And then we have to encourage individuality in children. Very important. They have to be themselves. They have to be who God has created them to be, emphasizing the importance of self-acceptance. Because if you do not accept who and what you are, where you have made mistakes, where you have fallen short of certain things, you will build in yourself envy and jealousy that can be so detrimental to your health, to our children's health. We have to accept who we are and celebrating one's successes, no matter how small. Like today, I was feeling tired, actually really feeling tired. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this again. But when I think about how far I have come, I accept the challenge, and I turn on this laptop and I see you guys on the other side of the globe, and then I'm happy again, and then I gather the momentum that you guys are giving me, and I just keep talking, right? But we do it together. So practicing gratitude, it's so important. When you teach gratitude to children, it fosters a culture that they are grateful. It encourages children to appreciate what they have rather than focusing on what they want or they lack. We have to appreciate what we have, because when we teach our children to appreciate what we have for right now, even just the fact that we are breathing, that is something great. It teaches us that because you're breathing, then there is hope. When there is hope, there is happiness. And when you are happy, there is good health. And when there is good health, guess what? You can focus on your goals and your dream, and nobody can stop you except you, or except the God who created you and put those goals and dreams within you can stop you. No one can ever stop you from building on your hopes and your dreams except you. So let us foster gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Simple thank you. And we do that by doing it to our children. Our children come and say, good morning, mommy. Good morning, daddy. Thank you so much for being the first person to come and say good morning to me. I was thinking about coming to your room, but I was just a little bit hesitant. You thank them. You thank them for doing the dishes. Yes, it is their chores that we've given them to do, but we still have to thank them for doing those things, because that is what is going to make them to even do it more and do it better. So, and we have to model positive behavior. We always say this. These things are interwoven. We cannot do one without the other, right? These things come together. We have to model good behavior, not just telling our children. They're not going to do it because you're not doing it. They're not going to do it. Some children can even say, Daddy, but you're not doing it. How are you telling me to do it? Right? Yeah. And they have the right to ask that question. Mommy, you're not doing it. You're just being a hypocrite. And some some parents can really beat their children, but they are saying it in respect. We have to really acknowledge that. So be mindful of your own attitude and behavior around these children, around envy and jealousy. Remind yourself and be mindful of your behavior. Are you checking yourself to make sure that you're doing the right thing? Children often learn by example. We always say it. They often learn by you modeling it, by us modeling it. So demonstrating graciousness and contentment can have a significant impact on our children. Very much so. So children are impressionable. Remember that always. Do not do something and you're thinking they're not even seeing. They see everything. Even when you're not close to them, they feel it and they're going to behave just like you. And you don't blame them because you are the one that they're copying from, right? So provide perspective. Help children to understand that social media and advertisement often present unrealistic portrayal of success and happiness. Remember, these things are arts. They just want to show it so you can go and buy this. We are living in capitalistic world where people want to always shuffle things so that we can buy. They're advertising. That is not real. In the real world, that's not the way it is. We need to teach our children. It's not everything they see on TV that they go, oh, I'm going to order this. Oh, I'm going to buy the, oh, daddy, mommy, they said this. Of course, you can listen, but it's not everything that is real the way you think. So you don't rush to go on other things unless you know exactly what you're doing. So we need to encourage critical thinking and teach our children to question these idealized things that are being portrayed on TV. You open your phone, the Google is there. They are shuffling all these unclean things in the faces of our children, in their eyes, and then they end up developing a headache. Guess what? We need to really, really encourage them to think critically and then teach them to question these idealized images that they watch on the screen every day. It's not what you think it is because, hey, we are living in a high technology world that will manufacture those figures and teach and show it to you. Like I have been seeing this for more than 30 years of these images of kids in Africa starving with their bones sticking out. Guess what? Those images are magnified because why? Certain places in Africa, even the whole of Africa, is used as an industry to be exploited and used because sometimes people ask the question, why is it that Africa is so rich? Africa cradles the world with all natural resources. Why is it that they are so poor? Because of the greed and power of the world. They want to exploit others, and that is abusing children as well. So we need to be mindful of those images because those images have been magnified. Even here in the United States, you see they show certain foods and you look at them, they are so, like these tomatoes are so, they are glittering. You just want to buy them and start chewing them, right? But do you know how they were produced? Are they produced organically? Are they healthy for your body and for the body of your children? We have to be mindful of those images. So we need to promote cooperation over competition in order to erase that kind of toxic jealousy and envy. We need to be able to promote cooperation over competition. We do not want our children to compete, and we don't compete either. Like some people will be asking, "Oh, how much money have you made in your account when you subscribe for Oak Connect? How much?" We don't need that. We don't need it. What are you going to do if you know? Then you're just going to develop a headache. Or maybe you're going to say, oh, I made more than you, and then make that person to feel bad. We don't need that. We just have to really focus on ourselves, because when we encourage collaboration and teamwork rather than fostering a competitive environment, it is going to really help our children and it will take them a long way. So emphasize the value of supporting and living each other up, uplifting each other. We have to support that, uplifting each other rather than pushing people down or pulling them so that they can fall. Remember, when you put your hand like this, you want to push this person. Now, what happens? You go down with them. You are going down with them, right? But when you put your hand, like my grandmother said, you put your hand on the back of somebody, you want to push them to go ahead and keep succeeding. Guess what you're doing? As you're pushing them, you're also following them. We want to encourage that environment of support instead of an environment of jealousy where we seek to sabotage and criticize and want to put people down. You can never rise up by putting somebody else down. You're going to put yourself down even worse if we do that, right? So we want to teach our children that celebrate other successes. When you see somebody succeeding, be happy, truly being happy for them, because your own turn is coming. Everybody has a turn. Maybe your own already came. Now you see another person. You want to think that everything has to be about you. No, the world does not operate like that. That's not the way God created us. We want to be truly happy and celebrate other people's successes. Like Mr. John Berry, like you attend 5 years. I admire you because that shows the other part of you, patience and continuity in building. Because when you're building something, you don't just build it today and leave it and thinking that it's going to keep growing. Just take, for instance, the story of the Indian bamboo, where these people were planting things. This man decided to plant the Indian bamboo, right? The other people decided to plant flowers. The flowers will blossom and they are going to get ready pretty fast. But the Indian bamboo takes time. The Indian bamboo takes 5 years before it can even sprout off the ground. But this man kept nurturing it, watering it, praying over it, and people were laughing at him. Say, see, we have harvested our flowers 3 times in a year. Why are you wasting your time here? But he understood the importance of patience while you keep working. Keep working. And then when the Indian bamboo finally sprout, guess what? It will grow 90 feet tall every single minute. It will cover the entire village. And this man, when people were busy harvesting things for the past 5 years and selling and having little money, his own came and he got so rich that nobody can compare. And this is the same concept that we are treating here. So encourage self-reflection. Always teach children to reflect on their own emotions and motivations. What are the emotions that are disturbing to them? Why are they disturbing? Where did this emotion come from? We want to be able to sort those things out with them. And also, what motivates them? What motivates them to focus on themselves instead of envying other people? These and many more are the things that we want our children to do. Envy and jealousy kills dreams if we don't focus on ourselves. And focusing on ourselves is teaching our children to focus on themselves as well. Jealousy is not a good thing. It's not good. It's not healthy. A certain level is okay because we were born with that. Because the human tendency is to look at something and say, oh, I wish I had that. But we have to be able to pull back ourselves, recollect ourselves, and ask, how did that person get there? Can I find out how to get there the way they also got there? That is very, very important for all of us. So thank you guys so much. And I'm going to appreciate you guys. After this, guys, I'm going to crash. I'm tired. I'm going to crash because I was up last night late with Sharon, the new youth and children mentor. She was creating a lot of these very beautiful, beautiful graphics for International Women's Day and a lot of other things that I asked her to help with. She's very good with those graphics. So she just continued to do them and I continued to check. We were doing it together until it was about 1 a.m. something. Usually I get sick when I stay up that late, So that's why I'm going to sleep today and I'll get up. I'll sleep for 9 hours. That's how I'm going to sleep today. So thank you so much. Thank you, our managing director, Jan Barilia. Thank you. Bonjour, how are you? Thank you for being here. We love you as well. Thank you, our beautiful sister Sharon. Sharon, I would like you to also sleep today like me. So don't stay up too late. Let's get some sleep together, okay? Thank you so much for all you're doing for One Global Movement. Thank you. And our brother Levi is here, the early riser. Thank you from the sunny Pretoria. Thank you so much for what you're doing on social media, hashtagging One Global Movement, and all those good stuff that is going to reach our children. I highly appreciate you for doing that. Thank you. And you say hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag One Family. Yes, that's who we are here. We can succeed when we become one positive family, right? And then Nancy is here. Hello, we are here to discuss our children's future. Certainly. Thank you, Nancy. And our man Tyrone is here. How are you, Tyrone? Thank you so much. Some of you, I feel for you too, because you guys are attending twice a day. Isn't that amazing? This shows how we are on fire to help our children. Good morning, good evening, and night. Happy to be here where I meet my queens and kings from Unpassive Family. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you for that. And we have our sister Ruth. How are you, sister? Thank you again for being here. We appreciate you. And while I always like to remind people that feel free to come to the panel, okay? This panel belongs to all of us. Everybody is included. We want our children to be included in everything, and so we should be practicing that inclusion. Everything counts. No matter who you are, if you need to say something, you can also hop onto the panel here. Don't forget to share to your family and friends to join One Global Movement for the sake of our children better future. Yes, thank you, Nancy. I know that you speak French. She is a multilingual woman. So if you want to speak some French, contact Nancy, right? Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you. And our sister Ruth says, hashtag in E to win it, hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Dr. Mundih. Thank you so much, Ruth. I highly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And our beautiful daughter is here. Wow. Emma J. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here. This is Nancy's daughter. I don't know how you get them to be here. A lot of young people will be like, oh, not today, tomorrow. But so far, these two, Emma and the brother, Greg, are here. We thank God for that. And Emma, this stage is for you guys. If you feel as you have something that you want to talk about so that other youth can really learn from you, feel free to come and speak. We are building this platform for young people and children worldwide between 1 day old and 26 years old or a little bit older. So it's for young people. Thank you so much for being here, Emma. We love you. And Sharon says, hello. Yes, 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 sister. We need to sleep. I'm going to be sleeping. If you're going to send something to me, Sharon, I bet you I'm going to be sleeping. Yes, I'm tired. And then Amadas, thank you so much for being here. We highly appreciate you for being here today. And we have our man, Kushal, is here. Thank you so much, Kushal, for the great work that you're doing. Thank you, guys. Everyone here is contributing in one way or the other. And the world is reading from you guys every day. I highly appreciate that. And we have our man, Brother Shridi Jana. Thank you so much, brother, for the contributions and the hashtags that you're contributing for One Global Movement on social media. I highly appreciate you for that. Let us spread it so that AI can begin to see it and send some resources our way. But let us be consistent. Consistency is the key, so that AI will quickly read it and then will send resources our way. A lot of people from social media, they call me and I'm just wondering, how did they know? They've been following us. So that is very, very important. That shows that we are doing something great. Yes. And our sister Sharon says, I love your background, sister. Guess what? This is Sharon right here. She made this background. You should see the beautiful, beautiful graphics. I'm like, and she just does it just in 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'm just wondering how she does that. But thank God that God sent you our way for our children. So I love your background, sister Dr. Mundih. Hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Women History Month. Hashtag International Women's Day 2024. Hashtag All Girls Matter. Hashtag One Global Movement Kids. Hashtag No Child Left Behind. Oh, double hashtags. Hashtag Obless. Hashtag Unpassive. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. The whole of this month, we're going to be celebrating a lot of the topics we're going to be celebrating. It's about Women's History Month, especially when it concerns our young girls. We do not play with our young girls at all. So, Sister Ruth says, hashtag unpassive, hashtag Ashmufara, hashtag Ruth Pace. There you go. There you go. Hashtag Women History Month. Yes, we got to hashtag ourselves, right? We pat ourselves on the back because that's what we need to do. Celebrate every step of the way. Thank you, Ruth. Envy and jealousy rots the bones, but a heart at peace gives life to the body and others around you. That is so true. Thank you so much, Nancy. And MD Paul BP, how are you? Thank you so much. Sometimes it's difficult for me to pronounce the name, but excuse me, I'll be learning and I will learn how to pronounce it. MD Paul BP. Thank you so much for being here. We love you and peace. Thank you. And Nancy said, jealousy destroys life, family, and kill your success. Certainly true. Let us not be jealous. Let us be contented and also help our children to be contented with what they have. And that's why I love Unpassive. We are not computing, we just getting other people's hands and walk to the top together. Mr. Ash Mufara said, we only need one account so don't worry, we all will make it. I have only one. Any account that I have, like this one that I'm working on, is for children. I have only one. That's all I got. So any other account, they are for the various initiatives for children in the world. So thank you so much for saying that. And see you all next time. Hashtag One Global Movement. That is from Sharon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sharon. And our brother, Shriji Jana, as usual, contributes so powerfully. He says, a healthy competition genuinely improves collaboration, focus on winning, encourages innovation, but envy or jealousy exhibit passive aggressive behavior, possibly act in ways that are hurtful to others. Certainly, certainly, genuine envy or competition improves. You working in collaboration with people that have the same mindset with you. You guys are working towards a goal and working together to achieve things together. Thank you so much for bringing that out, Brother Shriji. Thank you so much. I love that. I love that. And Boncho says, I love Unpassive. Don't we? We do love Unpassive. Unpassive brought us here together, one global movement. And let us continue to do this. Good things don't come by easily. Good things. I have been doing one global movement for more than 9 years. I'm going to pay taxes, file for taxes to pay the 10th time because I was building it for such a time as this when we can take it and help children all over the world. And I want us to build it with purity, with cleanliness, honesty, and integrity. Because in this country, when you do things everywhere in the world, it should be. When you do things with integrity and purity, love, and gratitude, more things will come your way. People will be apt to help you so that you can help the children. So that is exactly what we are doing here in One Global Movement and even Unpassive as well. So, and Kushal is saying hello to Bonjour. And we have hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag No Child Left Behind, hashtag fostering empathy, hashtag fostering spirit of gratitude, and hashtag Unpassive. Thank you so much, Srijit. We have come to the end of our show for today. I wish you guys the very best. And I will say, okay, Kushal is here. Kushal says, please like, share, and subscribe to hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Speak with Heart. Also, don't forget to ring the bell. And right now, if you've not put the big thumbs up to like it, please do so. And yes, thank you so much for always reminding them, Kushal. I highly appreciate you guys. You see, you guys are helping me a lot because now I'm not overwhelmed. When you guys are just doing these things, then I can also focus on other things. And together, We are moving ahead. So thank you so much. And I wish you guys the very best. For those of you who are already experiencing Thursday, I wish you guys a thankful Thursday. And we'll see you again at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let us think about Friday so that it is the celebration of Women's International Day. We want powerful men like you guys to come there and start the show. The show on O Connect is going to be started by a man, because this show how men highly respect women, and men want us to invest in our young girls. We don't want our young girls to be on the disadvantage, whether it is because of cultural barriers or societal barriers or whatever. We want our young girls, we want to see our daughters to excel and also be powerful contributors to the global economies as well as their families, right? So thank you guys so much. And always remember to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all. Bye bye.